Ladies and gentlemen, it's a beautiful night in Eastlake, Ohio. It's pretty hot out here. It is Monday, July 15th, and we are live with Cleveland Sports 360. And your host, that LG guy, and I'll let him introduce this beautiful lady, Liz. Take it away, LG.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Cleveland Sports 360 show. As Mr. Leaf said, we're joined live on the set at the StreamingSportsTalk.com studios by the winner of Miss Cleveland Sports 360 for the month of July, Elizabeth Suzanne. Elizabeth, welcome to the Cleveland Sports 360 show. How you doing?
Good, really good. Thanks for having me tonight.
I got to tell you, man, this was a close contest in July. I mean, the votes were going up and down. We had some great contestants, but you happened to tower over them all. Pardon the pun, literally. I mean, this is how do you say it? One tall, beautiful lady sitting right here, Elizabeth Suzanne.
I'm 6'1".
6'1". I mean, you're phenomenal looking. You do a fine job with your modeling and stuff like that. We're just glad to have you. This was the winner by 46 votes.
That's not a lot of votes.
No,
she almost caught me.
We had almost 17,000 votes in the month of June come in. It was a tight knit contest and up and down each and every day, and you came out on top. Because of that, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna give Elizabeth her prize, a $100 gift certificate from the Cleveland Sports 360 Girl of the Month sponsors, Nicole Christopher's Salon and Spa, right downstairs next door on Vine Street. If you're ever in the neighborhood, here you go, Elizabeth, $100.
Thank you very much.
To do with whatever you want at Nicole Christopher's. Nikki is a class lady. You're really going to love her. I mean, she'll give you some wine. You can spend some time with her. It's not one of these spas where you get rushed in and out. Whatever you want, you just call her. We can't thank Nicole Christopher's enough. Really, if you're looking for a place to get your hair done, your toes, your nails, whatever it is you ladies like to do, get down to Nicole Christopher's right down here, 354-75 Vine Street, and she'll take great care of you. Walk-ins are even welcomed at Nicole Christopher's.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Which is not that usual, is it?
Right, no. You usually have to make an appointment.
Yeah, I'm sure if you're going to get some decorative fingernails.
I should probably get some decorative. I
toes
don't have decorative fingernails. I bartend.
You're a hard worker.
I do. I work.
People don't realize this lady. I mean, tell us about yourself. I mean, you got a son.
I do.
You're a single mom.
I do. I'm a single mom.
I noticed you really missed your son a lot this past weekend.
I do. I miss my son when I don't see him. And actually, this past weekend, I worked, this past week, I should say, I worked 75 hours. So that's a lot of hours. And so he spent a lot of time with his dad. But I definitely miss my son when I don't see him, for sure. That's I have my son's name tattooed on my wrist. I got his name tattooed there. His first name is on my right wrist, and his middle name is on my left wrist. And I got that tattooed because your lifeblood flows through your wrist. So that has some significance to me, why I have his name there. He's 8
Let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. What hurt worse, having the son, giving the birth, or getting the tattoo put on your wrist?
He did that in like 3 minutes.
That's it? 3 minutes?
Well, yeah, maybe done? 4.
Did it hurt?
Pretty.
Did it hurt?
You know, I have 7 tattoos. So they're, they definitely hurt. It kind of feels
Now I want to ask you a question, okay? How does a beautiful lady like yourself, and this is just something that I've wondered, get all these tattoos? Do you feel like it adds to the beauty or takes away?
Well, I have 7, but they're pretty small, and most of them are coverable. I have my foot done. I have a rose on my butt. I have my son's name on my wrist, and I have.
You shouldn't have said the rose on the butt. Somebody's going to call in, and they're going to say, "Show us."
I got that done. There's a picture on my Facebook page in my old country girl album that you can see it in. I got that when I was like 16. I was in high school.
Leaf's probably leafing through the computer
hunting?
Right now. Where's that? I got to see the rose on the butt.
It is. It's in my previous country girl.
But seriously,
I saw it before the show when I met her at the door.
Seriously, with all the beautiful women that you're probably run across in the world, and I know there's a lot of them because we're very blessed to see a lot of beautiful ladies. Have you seen these ones where they have this tattoos is like, I mean, they're just invasive, I call it.
I do. I think it's a personal opinion. I happen to be a very big fan of tattoos. I think it's it's a self-expression thing.
How about all over the neck and to me, that takes away the natural beauty of the women.
To each his own. I think I've seen some very beautiful girls with tattoos. I think it's just an individuality thing. It's a look. I mean, some people choose to get it done. Some people choose not to. I'm a Libra, so I see both sides.
You really sound great on the radio too.
I do.
See, this is an old Mike Trevisano.
I am. I worked for Triv for a while. Do you want to know a secret about me?
Sure, go ahead.
I'll tell you a secret. I used to do voiceover commercials for Ambiance.
Really?
I did.
Do one for us right now.
Oh, man.
Ambiance, the store for lovers.
Yeah,
let's hear one. We're going to embarrass you now.
No, this is funny because I tell this story sometimes. I did, when I worked for Triv, they came to me and they said, will you do, Ambiance is looking for someone to do, just voiceovers about some of their individual products. So I remember I have it on a CD.
Now, did you have to try any of these?
No, I didn't get any. I didn't get any, and I thought, hey, if I'm going to do this, I should at least get this. But the one video I did was for, or the voiceover I did was for the Incredible G-Spot video.
You're kidding?
No, I'm not kidding you. I have it on a CD somewhere.
What was the product?
It was a video that taught you.
Oh, it's just a video?
Yeah, it was
how to find a G-Spot?
Yeah. I think men were supposed to watch it. No, I just was.
Is that a problem with most men? They don't know where it is, or what?
Well, I think sometimes it can be, but sometimes it's not. And when they do it right, they do it right. I think.
So were you in the video?
No. I
just did the voiceover.
Yeah.
And tell us how that went.
I don't even remember what I said, but I just remember.
If you want to make me smile.
It wasn't about me.
You don't have to reach up past a half a mile.
Right, that is true. Okay, there you go. You should have been writing the commercials.
To find the G-Spot.
Yeah, no, it was called.
You should have called me. We could be a team.
Yeah, we could have. No, but that was funny because I would turn it on. They ran on like MMS for a while, so I would turn on the radio and be listening to MMS, and I would hear it, and I'd be like, oh.
There's my commercial.
The Incredible G-Spot video.
Hey, it had to be incredible coming from Elizabeth Suzanne. Obviously, that's important. Somebody has to make these kind of instructions because some people just don't
get it. So Ambiance was trying to help people. I'm all about that. I think that if that's something, couples like to do, and then, God bless.
And not only that, they made a very nice business out of it.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
I think there's little stores all over the country if you stop and look for them.
For sure. I don't really, lovers, right? It is a store. I don't really frequent
probably have to look for that.
Right? I don't frequent Ambiance too often. But
obviously, a girl like you, beautiful, you're built extremely well, if I may say so.
Thanks.
How do you stop from getting harassed on Facebook and other social media sites? Is that something that bothers you, or is it something that happens once in a while?
It does happen once in a while, and I give everybody a chance, to be. I'm very, very open. I'm very approachable. I'm very easygoing.
Very nice. I have to tell you that.
Nice.
This is one nice lady. I had the opportunity to speak with her several times across the telephone lines way before we got your pictures and put you up for Miss July. I'm lying. Miss June of 2013, Cleveland Sports 360 Girl winner. Elizabeth Suzanne, one of the things that impressed me the most was how nice you were.
I am very nice.
Yeah,
I don't have it in me to be.
And there's no reason to be.
No, I don't.
Until somebody crosses that line.
And that's what I do. I treat this. I live my life by this. I treat others how I want to be treated. And if you disrespect me or you speak poorly about, people, my picture's been put up on. It was just up on Sexy Farm Girls, which was a big Facebook page that.
Because you're like a country girl.
I am a country girl.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, my family is originally from Mississippi, so I have a lot of that in me. I feel very at home. I love Cleveland. I love living in Cleveland. I represent Cleveland.
Were you born in Mississippi?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I really feel that living in Ohio is not as country as certain people
like not
to believe.
Country
no,
here
not
at
all. But I definitely have that mentality about just being out. I love being outdoors. I love to go four-wheeling. I love to fish. I love country music. I love farm living.
Now, do you take your own fish off the hook?
I have.
Because my fiance, and I have to tell you, I'm going to give a shout out to Beth. Beth, if you're watching, hello. This is Elizabeth Suzanne.
Hi, Beth.
Beth is 6'1".
Oh, perfect. That's great. I just put up a post today on being tall on Facebook.
I saw that.
Yeah.
It says
5'10"
you have
over
to
club.
just like admit to it and enjoy it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. I
Right.
love being tall. I wouldn't
Yeah.
trade it for a minute. But
And she kind of likes it too,
Yeah, I
because
love it.
except her pants are so long when I'm taking them out of the dryer, and well, I don't put them in the dryer because
Yeah,
they're
they shrink.
a 38-inch inseam.
I have
or
a
something
38-inch
like that.
inseam
Maybe
that
she's
I have.
36. I don't remember, but you got to to put them on a hanger. I mean, they come up to here on me.
yeah. I'm all legs myself, so
And so is she,
But
but being she doesn't like to touch the fish and take them off the hook. And one time she was kayaking and a fish jumped in the boat. It drove her crazy.
she got nervous about it. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't have a problem doing that stuff. I always throw them back. I have a big soft spot for animals, big heart. So I throw the the fish back. But I took my son fishing for the first time this summer, and he really enjoyed it. So that was cool.
Yeah,
That was a good
because
experience.
Elizabeth's a single mom, right?
I
You
am
have
a
an
single
8-year-old
mom.
son.
He's 8.5.
Tell us a little bit about your son. Pierce is his name.
His name's Pierce. He is a total athlete. Thank God, his father's an athlete. I'm an athlete. He plays tackle football. It's his second year. They're starting 2-a-days, which is hard for me to believe that an 8-year-old does 2-a-days. They start that pretty soon.
A lot of water.
Yeah.
Got to drink water.
Yeah, and he just went to Padua football camp, which was really a good program. And he does sports camp at the YMCA's and stuff. And he's an athlete, but football is his thing. He's a Packers fan. I think
He
I
wanted
said
you to
this
marry
on
Clay Matthews.
He wants
You
me to
told
marry
me
Clay
before the show.
Matthews. He does.
It wouldn't be a bad gig. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
He just got a very lucrative contract. Buy the kids some toys.
Right. I don't know if that's in the cards. Something I really wanted to do for my son was the Browns play the Packers, I think on the 25th, and I wanted to get tickets and fly out. But the more I research it, the harder I think it is for me to get tickets to that particular game. So I think I'm just going to have to.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll do a little investigation, and I'll see if we can't come up with some
that would
way.
be great. That's his.
It doesn't take that long to drive to Green Bay either.
No, you think I could do it in a drive? I was
You
thinking
could
about
do
flying.
it in
How
a
far
drive.
is it?
It would take you about 9.5, 10 hours.
Okay. That's
So
good. Just
it's
me. I
not-
just wanted it to be me and him, just
Right.
a mother and son thing, and that's something he
It's hard to
really-
get tickets to the Green Bay Packers because they're owned by the people of Green Bay, and
Right.
everybody sells out so quickly.
Right.
But I'll keep my eyes and ears open. But let me ask you, this is a serious question to do with your son and playing tackle football.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, all you hear about is head injuries in football. Are they taking this serious at the youth football level?
Absolutely. And I had said from the beginning, it made me very nervous to put him in tackle. He started playing flag football, and just loved it and excelled and was the star of the team and this and that. And then he started tackle football, and he had, a lot of reservations and hesitations, and most of the, the practices are non-contact right now,
Right,
of course.
right.
But it's definitely, I go to his games and I'm on the sidelines anxious. It's
Do the coaches or anybody talk to the parents? Is there any awareness like, hey, we're taking this stuff serious
Yeah,
now?
no, they do.
Do you think it's more serious today than it was 3 years ago?
Oh, I mean, for sure. I think you have to be. You're dealing with kids that are just starting tackle football, so they really go through the motions on how to hit correctly and where to hit and how to hold your body and your head and stuff.
Are they trying to say don't use your helmet, don't lead with the helmet?
Yeah, they definitely go through all like the procedures, and they got.
Because
they
you're
wear
really the
helmets.
first person that came to the Cleveland Sports 360 show I could talk about somebody that has youth football player that you take to practice and stuff. And I just noticed, like Urban Meyer, the head coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes, and Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the National Football League, were having a clinic this week, I believe it is, to teach these youth football players more things about safety and the head injuries and things of that nature.
It's important because it could, I think, unfortunately, in what, no matter what age you are, but especially prevalent in young ones, one wrong move could be very devastating for a child. That's for sure. So I think they definitely take it serious. They get new helmets, new equipment. We do fundraisers and things like that. So my son's football team has a fundraiser in September too. So I'll have to, once I find out all the details, I'll send you a plug. But
yeah, absolutely. And we'll put it up on the website, and that way we'll get you some publicity.
Cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're tuned in to the Cleveland Sports 360 show. Our special guest tonight, Miss Cleveland Sports 360 Girl of the Month of June, Elizabeth Suzanne. Don't turn that dial. If you got any questions, pick up the phone, give us a call, 216-672-4300. We'll be right back with more of Elizabeth Suzanne, Miss June 2013, Cleveland Sports 360 Girl of the Month.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cleveland Sports 360 show with your host, LG, and Miss June for Cleveland Sports 360, the beautiful Elizabeth. And trust me, I'm not blind. She's beautiful, folks. Take it away, LG.
Leaf.
Thank you.
You'd have to be blind not to notice her beauty.
Thank you.
And we're just
Thank
lucky
you.
to have her as the
Thanks.
Cleveland Sports 360 Girl of the Month of June. Elizabeth, you said you played some athletics in high school,
I
right?
did.
What sports did you like to excel in?
I played basketball. I played varsity basketball for 3 years. I started for 2, started my junior and senior year. I grew up in Vermilion. So
I like Vermilion.
Yeah, it was a great place.
You know, way back in the early days, I mean, I was 13 years old. I used to roadie for a band, believe it or not, at 13,
Right.
before I started playing drums. And we played at Vermilion High School one night. I mean, I remember it was snowing like 3 inches every hour or something, and we were going to be stuck in. But I really like Vermilion.
Yeah, it was
a
great place
I don't
to
want to
grow
say
up.
it's country. I mean, it's built up a lot more.
Yeah.
I'm talking when I was 13, it was like
Right.
1973. You weren't even born yet.
No, not yet. 9 years later.
So, yeah, I mean, so you like to play basketball. What else? Anything else?
I played softball for, I think, maybe a year. I played a little tennis. I never did any cheerleading or anything like that. But basketball was my main deal, mainly because I was so tall.
Right.
But
I bet the coaches loved to see you come.
yeah, no, it was good. But there was another girl that we played with that was 6'4".
Wow.
So it was 2 girls in Vermont.
Now, being 6'1", I'm just going to ask you this: were you? When did you notice you were tall? I mean, you know what I'm saying. Some people spike up in high school, some in junior high school.
I was
so
always
even in
tall.
elementary school, like my
yeah.
fiance, she said she was always the tallest.
I was
person.
always taller than everybody, which I remember being in like 7th and 8th grade. And I went through a very, very, very ugly, awkward phase, and I was always much taller than the boys, and it was, of course it was hard for a while. But
did they pick on you?
Yeah, I did. I got picked on in like
do they
7th
see
and
you
8th
now?
grade.
These same kids?
Some of them. I remember a couple kind of nasty incidences, but middle school. But
Kids can be nasty.
They can,
it's
absolutely.
just amazing how.
Right.
You know, that's another thing with all the social media today, and you with a young son. One thing I got to tell you, with my daughters, we grew up. We came into the internet era. I was a nut about that. Like I made sure they weren't online at a certain time.
Right,
they
yeah.
didn't have cell phones. They didn't have pagers. Yep. I don't like all this social media. You see these kids threatening other kids. Has that been a problem? I mean, your son, has he ever experienced it?
No,
or?
he's too young. He doesn't have a Facebook page or anything, but he definitely knows how to navigate around the internet. That's for sure. He's very proficient on YouTube, so I have to really monitor.
But does he come home from school with any horror stories? This kid's picking on this other guy.
Horror stories, but he definitely has come home with, well, this and that and this and that. He said this to me and he said this to me, and I always tell him, you have to handle yourself, and you never start a fight, you never put your hands on anyone or anything like that. But if someone does that to you, then you definitely need to.
And you bust them in the teeth.
Yeah, absolutely. No.
I think
I'm
you said something
that.
like that once you go.
I did. I'm
going to bust them in the teeth if you say something bad about
it. I get on Facebook. It's hard because I give everyone a chance because I am a genuinely nice person.
You are very nice.
And I feel that if, and I'd say 80% of people are very respectful about, and say very respectful things to me on Facebook. But then you get that couple here and there that definitely have some negative, things to say, and I will call them out on it. And I definitely don't like anything to be, in reference to my son or parenting.
And there should be nothing said about
because
your son.
The truth of the matter is it's 90% of the people on my Facebook page don't really know me, and so it's hard, when you're getting judged and people don't really know who you are. So I definitely have a much bigger heart than probably a lot of people think I do.
I can vouch for that.
My interior is much better looking than my exterior.
And a lot of people don't realize beauty is more than just skin deep.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. I have
and you could be really stuck up and say, you know what?
And I'm nowhere near it.
You're beautiful.
Nowhere near it. Thanks, but
you really are.
I'm nowhere near it.
I'm saying
that.
beautiful in the attitude, the way you carry yourself, the way you
Thanks.
present yourself. And we're honored to have you as a Cleveland Sports 360.
Yeah, I am too. It was exciting to do that. It was fun, and I'm a big Cleveland fan, and I rep Cleveland, and I'm a Browns fan, and Indians fan, and Cavs fan, and I definitely, it was an honor to be able to do it. So I'm very grateful for that. And this is a good story. I have a sweatshirt that I got in Columbus that says, "If you ain't a Cleveland fan, you ain't shit."
Oh, my goodness.
And I wore it to when I flew to San Antonio in February. I went on a little mini vacation, and I flew to Texas, and I wore it through 3 different airports. And so I had people coming up to me and saying, well, I'm not a Cleveland fan, but now I'm a Cleveland fan. So whenever I fly or do anything like that, I always put that sweatshirt on.
I hate to say this, but it takes balls to wear a sweatshirt like that.
It did. And I was alone, and I wore that sweatshirt. And
it takes balls to be a Cleveland fan, period.
And I am a Cleveland
I travel
fan.
a lot, and I go to different parts of the country. And I remember right after LeBron left the Cavaliers, and you had something you wanted to say about the Cavs. We're going to get into that in a minute. But right after LeBron left, and I would go check in at a hotel in Michigan or wherever I was at the time, and they go, "Oh, you're from Cleveland, huh?"
Right. People have said that to me. People are like, "Are you from Cleveland?" And I'm like, "I'm from Cleveland." I consider Ohio, Vermilion home.
They say
Cleveland
you,
home.
and they want to move to Cleveland, be closer to you. Are you kidding me?
I say I'm from Cleveland. Yeah, I definitely, and Cleveland Clothing Company and stuff, super cool. Kick-ass clothing, and I have a couple of their T-shirts and things like that. I believe in hometown pride for sure. I think that's kind of maybe an old school mentality that I
That's
possess.
the right mentality.
I agree, and my son is a Packers fan, and I don't know where he got it from, but I told him.
He likes winning football. What can I tell you?
He does.
After
He likes to win.
Unfortunately, and you only being is it okay to give out
I'm
your age?
30.
Yeah,
I'm
30 years
very
old.
comfortable with telling people how old I am. I'm 30.
But being 30, you barely saw any winning Browns football.
That is true.
And your son has never seen a winning Browns football team here in Cleveland.
No, he has not. And
so
he's
the
a Packers
case is he picks the Packers because they win football
and
games.
he's kind of an alpha male a little bit, and he definitely doesn't like to lose. He's kind of a sore loser, so we're working on that still. But he's coming along. But I told him, I said, you can be a Packers fan all you want. Mommy's a Browns fan. You can be a Packers fan as long as you're not a Steelers fan. Because if you're a Steelers fan, you're sleeping on the front porch.
There you go. That's
I'm not a Steelers fan.
Bringing them up right. Right. Yeah, there's a lot of people that would, a lot of people think I should be a Steelers fan because sometimes I write what they call negative articles about the Cleveland Browns. But you know what I say? I write the truth about the Cleveland Browns.
Okay,
Give me some winning. I would like to see one winning season.
I think we're going to make the playoffs this year.
You do?
I do.
You really have a lot of confidence.
I
coming
do.
in.
I have a lot of optimism.
What's the factor that's going to get us there in your mind? Who's going to take us over the top?
Again, and I believe this, no matter what sport you play, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, it's a team effort. I don't really think there's one person in particular that's going to that's going to be the star. This or that. You can't depend on one person totally. Somebody could get hurt. This and that. It's everything coming together as a team. And you also have to have a strong bench. I know that for my years of playing basketball and stuff, if you don't have a strong bench to come in and support, when your stars need a break, then you're going to lose games, no matter, again, what sport it is. But I think that I have a lot of, hope and faith. I think every year, I think this is going to be the year.
I think the same thing until after the fifth game.
Well,
we're 0-5.
No, we're not going to be 0-5 this year.
Let's
promise.
hope not. I predict we're going to have 3 wins at least before
the bye week.
Exactly.
Okay.
Why, did you see that article I wrote?
I did.
Okay. All right.
I did my research.
And then some people are saying, no, I don't think we're going to. And I'm like, what, are you kidding me?
Well, I think you got to stay positive.
Right. They say we can't beat Miami because it's the opening day and the Browns never win on opening day. Well, you know what? It's time to turn that around, right? Let's have some positive vibes.
For sure. And
Elizabeth Suzanne says, get your asses on that field and win come
win
opening
some games.
Day. Right. Bring it home, baby.
Right.
So Pierce is playing football. Does he have any other sports?
He plays baseball right now, too, yeah. And I grew up playing softball, which I love that. I'm actually thinking about taking him to some batting cages.
Hey, you played baseball. Let me show you this bat. You see this bat?
I do. It's personalized.
Custom made. Right. Feel this tater grip. That's called the tater grip. What do you think of that in your hands?
It feels nice.
Did you ever grip anything that feels like that?
Well, maybe a couple.
Now let's not go back to the G-Spot commercial.
I got about 10 I could rattle off there.
You do? Okay.
Tomorrow's
we
the
don't
dirty
hear
show.
From you, Leaf.
Tomorrow's the dirty show.
Is that nice or not?
Tomorrow's the dirty show.
Would you think that's a good
It
bat?
is, yeah. It's a nice grip.
That's the tater grip. It comes from the tater grip people. They sent it to me.
Yeah, it feels nice and
you like that
together in your hands. Yeah, for sure.
And you can use it for the G-spot too.
Right. that's intense. That'd be a little much. That'd be a lot.
A little bit too much.
That's a little bit too much.
Okay, so we're not gonna go there anymore. But playing softball, did you ever think about getting the kid into golf?
I have not. I'm not.
You see what these golfers make?
Yeah, they do make a lot of money.
Oh my goodness! If you start them out young and
right.
a lot of determination, a lot of practice.
He hasn't expressed any interest in golf whatsoever or soccer. That's fine. I'm a football fan. I'm a baseball fan, and I play basketball. And he's not that big of a basketball fan. So he's cool.
How tall is he at 8 years old? Do you think he's going to be as tall as you?
I hope so. His father's 5'11", and I'm 6'1". So
now, did you have any trouble dating shorter men?
You know what? I don't know.
Because for the first couple of months or maybe a year, I was with my fiance. She goes, "I think I'm taller than you," and she's not. I have pictures where I'm taller if I stand up straight.
Yeah.
But
well, I don't know. I like tall guys for sure. I always wear heels. I have cowboy boots on today. I don't know. Can they see that far down? Or?
Sure they can.
Oh, they can.
Leaf, can you see the cowboy boots?
I got cowboy boots on today. I got them for my photo shoot, and I
don't mean this dirty. Put your legs up just a little bit, and they'll see them. Oh yeah, they could see them now.
My new cowboy boots.
Just a little bit country.
A little bit. I'm a lot country.
So you like them? You got them for the photo shoot, and you haven't taken them off since, or
pretty
what?
much. I wear them all over the place. I wear them all over. I'll rock them all the time, and even in the summer. So I wear them a lot. They're broken in just perfectly now.
Well, once you get a good pair of boots broken in, there's nothing better, right?
No, not much.
Except in the wintertime when you hit that ice patch.
Yeah, right. I had to wash my boots in the wintertime. But
ladies and gentlemen, in case you don't know, this is the Cleveland Sports 360 show. Live on the set with us tonight is the beautiful Elizabeth Suzanne, winner of the Cleveland Sports 360 Girl of the Month contest. Hey, if there's any ladies out there that are interested in joining into the contest, all you have to do is go to clevelandsports360.com, look for the Girl of the Month page, follow the rules, and submit your entry. You could be eligible to win a $100 gift certificate just like Elizabeth did for a complete whatever it is you want to have made over.
Right.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with more of the Cleveland Sports 360 show right after these commercial messages.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's a beautiful Monday night. Like I said, well, not too beautiful unless you're in air conditioning. And the Cleveland Sports 360 show with your host, LG. LG, take it away, brother.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cleveland Sports 360 show. Our special in-house guest tonight, the beautiful Elizabeth Suzanne, Cleveland Sports 360 Girl of the Month of June. And we want to give a shout-out to my man, Rick Koth, who stopped by, that is probably in the neighborhood for something to do with business. That's him. He's a businessman. So, Elizabeth, before you get too carried away talking about basketball and stuff, you have your own viewpoints on the Cleveland Cavaliers, right? You're thinking Andrew Bynum could possibly help the team.
I do, as long as he stays healthy. I think that's really important.
I think so too.
And I think it's a young team, so it's a good building year. But what I was going to say about the Cavs is LeBron, that's a thing of the past, and I think it's something that we all need to move on from and get over as a whole. It is.
We got to take this shirt down.
I think we should take it down.
You think we should get rid of it? Here.
Let's take it down.
We'll rip this baby right off the wall.
There you go. Take it down.
Goodbye.
No more.
We should burn it.
We're over it.
There you go. Bye-bye, LeBron. We're done. No more witness shirt.
I got a lighter right here.
He does.
.com studios. We've gotten rid of LeBron.
I agree with that. I think that was a
LeBron
good move.
has left the building.
He has. He left the building a while ago. And I think that, we need to move on from it and refocus. And I think it's important to focus on what we have and not worry about if he's coming back, if he will, if he won't. It was a business move on his part. I personally did not agree with the way he went about it. I think that something I can say.
I definitely don't agree with the way he went about it.
I mean, I don't agree with it at all. I think something I can say is I think Cleveland has very, very loyal, diehard fans.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's something I love about being a Clevelander is, we love our teams. And the Browns, I mean, I've been to, Browns games and the Muni Lot tailgating and stuff. And even with a poor season, the fans are very loyal.
Oh, that's one of the reasons Jimmy Haslam bought the Cleveland Browns is because of the loyal fans. And, you worked for Triv or worked with Triv.
I did.
How long did you get to do that for?
It was my college internship. I graduated from John Carroll in 2006.
That's a tough school.
It was a tough school, and I actually went to school my last semester. I was 8 months pregnant. I went to school up till December, and my son was born January 15th. So I was going to school 8 months pregnant, and then I went back and finished my degree in the fall when he was like 6 months old, and I was taking 18 credit hours with a 6-month-old baby at that school.
Did you get to bring him the Triv show with you?
I never did, but I didn't know. I worked at Triv my early part of my college.
So you probably hear Triv every once in a while nowadays,
I do.
huh? Did you hear him about this Jimmy Haslam, the new Browns owner?
No, I didn't. I didn't hear him
because
talk
there's some
about that.
bad feelings coming out of Trevisano and talking about Haslam and the trouble that he's having with his Pilot Flying J truck stop. Do you think there's a possibility that Jimmy Haslam may have been the wrong guy for the Cleveland Browns to be sold to?
Well, I mean, I think it's a matter of personal opinion. I think that, we want to see a winning team. We want to see people we want to see the Browns focus and win. I think that, we're all waiting for that. And I think, changing owners and changing coaches so many times in the last several years, I think it's kind of it's turned Cleveland into a little bit of a joke with the coaching staff.
A lot of a joke.
And I think that if we had some consistency there, that would probably really help things out, a lot. So, I think that
unfortunately the consistency may not start with Jimmy Haslam.
That's true.
He's being investigated by the grand jury as we're talking right now. It's been going on for about 2 weeks. And if the grand jury files charges, I'm afraid the NFL may step in and make him either sell the team or take the team. I don't know what could happen.
Yeah.
So here we could be starting all over again, and that's just going to be another upset for the Cleveland Browns fan base.
Very
just
true.
like you said, at least we have loyal fans.
Yes, we do.
And we'll stick it out no matter what.
Right,
What choice do we have?
Is key. That's for sure.
What choice do we have?
Is key.
So out of the Indians, the Cavaliers, and the Browns, which one of those three teams do you think is going to give us a championship first?
Oh, right now, right now, I'd probably have to say the Indians. I think they're doing real well this season. But if you asked me, would you rather go to a Browns game, an Indians game, or a Cavs game? I would say Browns game.
Oh, absolutely, excitement level.
It is the excitement
just
level.
like you said, the tailgating, the starting out in the Muni lot.
Yeah, and I love that. I love that atmosphere. I think it's great. I own a couple. I actually have a shirt. It's on my Facebook page somewhere. I have it. It says Cleveland's #1 mom. It's a Browns shirt, so I wear that to tailgating. So,
and tell people, how can they find you on Facebook?
My Facebook is Elizabeth Suzanne. It's what it's under, and it's www.facebook.com/Pierce's Mommy. So that's my Facebook page. Pierce's Mommy.
That's the pride and joy of your entire
He
existence,
is.
isn't it? That's what drives you to work 75 hours a week. People don't realize, in being a responsible parent in 2013, it's tough, huh?
It is tough, and my son's and I only have one, and I have some of my friends that have 3, 4, 5 kids. I mean, God bless you. It's hard to be a parent. I only have one, and I know the work that goes into one. So, my friends that have multiple children, that's it's a lot of work. And my son's very active in sports, and he's in Boy Scouts, and he does swimming lessons, so he's an active child. So it's the key to being a good parent is discipline, consistency, and scheduling. So and I work 3 jobs. So I'm pretty busy.
And some of these jobs keep you hopping too. I mean, people don't realize you're like a marketing manager.
Well, I am.
Tell us what your degree's in.
I have a marketing degree from John Carroll. I graduated from there in 2006. I manage all of Northeast Ohio's promotions for Chevrolet. I started with GM Marketing in 2007, so I've been with them for 6 years. I stepped into a managerial role in 2010. This summer, I also took on Cadillac. So I do a lot of Cadillac marketing as well, but Chevrolet is my bread and butter for sure. That's my I'm very loyal to that brand, and I just actually picked up the new 2014 Silverado. So
you picked it up.
I picked it up.
So you have a pickup truck now.
I do.
That goes with your cowboy
hat.
It
does.
In your boots.
It goes with my
Next thing you'll be
theme.
pulling a horse trailer behind you. A little pony.
Right.
But tell us a little bit, like being a marketing manager for Chevrolet. Mm-hmm. Did you get your start in marketing with the G-Spot commercial at all?
Well, yeah, that might have capped it off, right? When
Ambiance, right?
Yeah, with Ambiance. No, I did those commercials and stuff, but I wanted to originally go into broadcast journalism, so I had an internship internship at Fox 8 News as well. And then when I first started working for Chevrolet, they had a contest through 19 Action News, and we had like a television partnership, and I went down and auditioned to do it because even when I was a little girl, I used to beg my dad to go to car shows. I've always been a big car fan, and so, I would probably say I'd rather go to car show more so than my brother did when we were little, which is funny. But
are you older or younger?
I'm older. He's 26. He lives in Columbus. He's just graduated from Ohio State last year. So go Bucks. He he lives in Columbus with his girlfriend and his dog, which I call my nephew. So yeah, so
that's a good school, Ohio State.
Yeah, he graduated from Ohio State.
Some exciting times down there.
Yeah.
And, have you ever been to the Horseshoe for a Ohio State Buckeyes game?
Well, I have been there, but I haven't been to a Ohio State Buckeyes game.
What a nut house that is!
Yeah, well, right.
I mean, you'd think the Cleveland Browns Stadium is busy.
Yeah, no.
When you see that Horseshoe
that's big
fill
time
up.
news.
Oh yeah, that's 110,000 strong. I mean, it's a zoo down there.
I did it back when there was Pontiac still. Actually, right when I first started working, doing marketing and stuff, I did a Pontiac promo during an Ohio State Michigan game. Absolutely crazy. I remember that. That was
the biggest rivalry in all of sports.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, Pontiac, cool. That's a gone item now.
It was.
Never to be back, huh?
Nope. I don't think so.
Shame.
No, but Chevy's taking a lot of Pontiac cues actually, which is pretty cool. They're actually coming out next year with the new SS, which was modeled after the G8, Pontiac G8. It kind of looks like
that was a great
Camaro.
car.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the first one that came over. I think they were building those cars in Australia, believe it or not.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah, the G8. And when I first saw
G8,
it, I said, man, I'd like to have that.
Yeah,
car.
it was a nice car. So the Chevy SS will be released. It's been in a couple magazines, just coming out. I think 2014. I think it'll be. I think it's going to be a 2015 model production, but it'll come out next year, early first part.
That'll be exciting.
First quarter, yeah.
So, out of all the teams, you think the Indians can give us a championship before the?
I'm very optimistic. I'd like to see Cleveland, obviously succeed and do well. But I think the Indians have done great this season.
Oh,
for
fantastic!
Sure.
I think we've exceeded some people's expectations. We brought in Terry Francona as the tribe manager,
and he's definitely created a great positive atmosphere too.
Exactly,
and it definitely which is great for the morale and great for the team. And we were seeing some young talent, some young pitching talent.
Absolutely,
with the Indians.
How about this young guy we brought up last week, Salazar? Is his first major league debut. He struck out 5 of the first 6 hitters, and he retired 15 of the first 16 batters.
Right. Impressive.
Unbelievable.
Got some young talent.
Yeah, he's going to be a hot one. And then people are all upset because we sent him down to Columbus. They don't understand we're going into the All-Star break. You take a young guy like that, he's just getting warmed up, and to miss a start might have threw the guy out of kilters a little bit. You know what I mean? He can go back down to Columbus, get another start in. He's not missing his regular start. You keep him on his routine, and hey, God knows we're going to need him in the second half to come back up and give us a repeat performance. So I think it was important to keep him in his rhythm and to get things done to help him continue in his growth coming up to the major league level.
For sure.
But how exciting was that to see a young guy come up?
Yeah, I'd love to see that. I think it's great.
Unbelievable. So I think the team is I'm optimistic that the second half of the Cleveland Indians season is going to be at least as good. I mean, we only have like about 68 games left right now.
Right.
We didn't have Francona here for the last 2 years, so when people talk about the tribe falling asleep in the second half of the season, this guy's going to come over and nudge you a little bit and wake your butt up. Don't you agree?
I totally agree.
He's a proven winner. He's got 2 World Series rings, and he would like nothing better to make Cleveland a winner.
And he brings a lot of positive energy, which is great, too.
I believe you. I'm going to agree with you, and I'm going to say out of those 3 teams on your pad there, the Browns, the Indians, and the Cavs,
I'd say the Indians might have
the
best shot
probably will bring us a championship first at this point in time.
Right.
So I think it's going to be an exciting end.
Which is great because I remember the era of baseball, like Carlos Baerga and Albert Bell, and I the '90s baseball is when I first started going to games. I haven't been to a game in a minute. Chevy actually has a big display down there, so I have another guy that works for me that runs that display down there. Chevy's a sponsor of MLB, which is pretty cool. But I would love to take my son to a game too. So
tell Chevy to cough up some box seats for you. What the heck? Right. I'm sure they got tickets, right?
Yeah, they do. Absolutely.
Get your butt down there and root on it. You know what? Here's the deal. All you have to do is get down there and
Wear
stand in
dress?
center field in this outfit,
Yeah,
okay?
I know. They might tackle me off
And
the field.
everybody's going to try to hit a home run right towards you. But don't stand there for the opposing team. Just do it for our team.
No,
you know?
absolutely. I'm
Don't
a
do it
Cleveland
for the
fan.
opposing team.
Yeah, for sure.
And then yesterday, this guy's new claim to fame, a Cleveland Indians fan, caught 4 foul balls in one baseball game.
That's
so this is
crazy.
a famous guy now. The chances of doing that were like 17 trillion to 1 or something like that.
Yeah, 4. That's
4 of
that's
them.
a lot.
They saw him in the paper holding all 4 baseballs up. And they said, this dude better go out and buy himself a lottery ticket.
Right? Lucky guy.
But hey, if you're just tuning in, where the hell you been for the last 45 minutes? We only got a quarter of the show left. Our beautiful co-host this evening is none other than Elizabeth Suzanne, the Cleveland Sports 360 Girl of the Month of June. She won a nice gift certificate. She'll be visiting Nicole Christopher's Salon and Spa down here on Vine Street, 354-75 Vine Street, East Lake, Ohio. If you need your hair done, your toenails, what do you call that, a pedicure?
Pedicure,
Fingernails,
manicure, yeah.
manicure, pedicure. I don't know if they do any waxing or anything of that nature over here, but Nicole Christopher's is a class organization, the host of the sponsor of the Cleveland Sports 360 Girl of the Month contest. Thank God we have her. And we'll be right back with the last quarter hour of the show right here with Elizabeth Suzanne. If you got a call, you better make it quick. 216-672-4300. Talk to you soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live with the Cleveland Sports 360 show with your host, LG, and we have a new host here. I just signed contracts with her, the beautiful Elizabeth Suzanne, our winner of the June 2013 model. And she's gorgeous. I signed the contracts. We're ready to go. LG, take it away.
Leaf, if you've signed the contract, you better go out and find a boatload of money because this lady's already working 75 hours a week.
I also bartend. I should probably put that in.
Where are you bartending?
I bartend day shift, Tuesday through Friday, and depending on my Chevy and Cadillac schedule, I work at Brew Garden in Middleburg on Bagley Road. It's right across from Southwest Hospital. So,
really?
Yeah, come visit at Brew Garden.
Brew Garden. Rick, there you have it. Stop in and have lunch.
We have a lot of craft beers, which is really cool. We have great food. We just introduced a new menu. I've been bartending for a long time. I definitely enjoy it. Work with some really cool people, and we have a really nice patio. So
really?
Yeah, look it up. Brew Garden. It's brewgarden.com.
Where is that? On Bagley Road?
It's on Bagley Road. It's right across from Southwest Hospital, directly across the street,
so if you're
right
going
off 71.
Down 71 South, you get off and you hang a right-hand turn.
Yep, right-hand turn.
Okay.
And I'm there Tuesdays through Fridays. I only work day shift. I don't work nights. At this point in time, I'm there days. I open their bar. And I'm busy in the summer because I'll bartend both bars. We have a bar inside and our patio outside, and so I do both bars. So we're pretty busy.
That's fantastic. I mean,
Yeah.
you're always moving. You're never sitting still.
No, this
Can't
is
hit a
this is
moving
the-
target, huh?
Right. This is the longest I've sat still, I think, probably all day.
Probably feels halfway
It does.
decent
It
to
does
you,
feel
right?
nice to just sit down.
So, what do you have planned for the rest of the summer? I noticed you just got done with a big photo shoot.
I
you did a
did.
little country girl
Yeah,
thing. Because
my-
you are a country
I
girl.
am a country girl. So this photo shoot really, this one spoke to me. So it was really cool. But again, I think, I don't know, some of my pictures I think are up there.
Yeah, we did
on the
get some
site.
of them.
So yeah, cool. Okay, good. These pictures are going to Vintage Lowrider magazine and Antique Motorcycle magazine, and I shot with a 1947 Vintage Indian motorcycle.
Oh, wow. I knew a
Yeah.
guy that had a 1949 Indian. His
Yeah,
name
it's
was
a
Chuck
beautiful
Kane.
bike. It was the same color as I've gotten my
This
hair.
thing had a gear shifter
Yeah.
that you used to have to shift. The 1949 Indian did.
Yeah.
It wasn't done with your
Suicide
foot.
clutch.
Right.
A suicide
Right.
clutch, right? Yeah, this bike is beautiful. It's fully restored. It's definitely the guy's baby, that's for sure. So I had a really good photo shoot, and those pictures are going into those magazines probably within like the next month. They're being submitted. So yeah, I had 2 outfit changes. I had a white dress and a brown cowboy hat, and then I had a black leather outfit on. I think some of my pictures are up, so those are cool.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, it was a great photo shoot. And
Yeah.
so you'll be in the Vintage Motorcycle magazine.
Yeah, he's going to write a little bio about his bike and the story behind it, and hopefully the magazine decides that they like the pictures, and it'll be in a national publication.
Now,
Which
how
would be
did you
cool.
get involved with taking the pictures or modeling, if you
Well,
want to call it?
he was it was actually a customer of mine at the bar, and he had approached me and said, I'd love to take some, have somebody take some photos of you. And a girl has done a couple of my photo shoots in the past. I did a photo shoot last summer with my Camaro. So I got a Camaro for
that's
Chevrolet.
what-
I did
think
one.
we used some of those
Yeah,
photos
some
in,
of those were
in the
up.
contest.
Right, and
give a shout out to your photographer.
yeah, her name is Tracy. She does ECI photography. She takes beautiful pictures. She's a total professional, and she does a lot of things. I have a link on my Facebook page too for her. So she does
So
beautiful
anybody
work.
needs some good photography
Yeah.
work done, get a hold
And she
of
does
Tracy,
all kinds
right?
of stuff. She does
Is there a way
weddings
they
and
could
babies.
get a hold of
Yeah,
Tracy?
ECI photography, ECI, and her name is Tracy Dawn, and her link's on my page too as well. And I tagged her in all my pictures. So if you're a Facebook friend of mine, then for sure you can look it up. Yeah.
So that's pretty exciting. And then you have anything coming up after that?
I had a family reunion this summer, which was pretty cool. I work a
Did
lot.
you have to go back to Mississippi?
No. This was the other side of the family. This is my mom's side of the family. It was actually in Geneva on the lake.
Oh.
So that was cool. We had a good time. I'd love to take my son to Cedar Point or Kalahari or do something like that for sure. I work a lot in August because we do our county fairs with
Right.
Chevy. So, and then I'd love to take him to Mohican or do something like that, some camping. I think he'd really be into it. So that sounds like something I'd like
Great
to do.
year for it. Now that the weather's drying out a little bit, I mean,
Yeah.
last week you would have been flooded down there at
That's
Mohican.
for sure. Yeah. It was raining a lot.
16 days in a row, downpours. It
Yeah,
was
too much.
incredible the amount
Way
of
too
rain
much.
we had. So with the outdoor activities, you go shooting and stuff like that.
Yeah, I love to shoot guns.
I seen you with a big rifle and
Yeah.
a hunting dog. Is that right? Was that a hunting
well,
dog?
it's my brother's dog. Yeah,
Okay.
he's a
The one in
purebred
Columbus?
bloodhound. Yep, in Columbus. I love to shoot guns. I'm a believer in that. For sure. I'm actually looking to get my CCW soon.
Oh my
So,
goodness! Where would you put it?
Where would I put my gun?
Yeah, I mean, come
Maybe
on.
in my boot.
In your boot?
Yeah.
That might be the only
Put it in my
place you
boot.
could conceal the gun, because everywhere else it's going to stick
It's
out.
gonna stand out.
You need a
That's
looser
for sure.
fitting dress to hide the gun.
Right. Yeah,
know?
I can't, it's funny. I joke around. I'm like, I being so tall, I can't, I can't ever, you could never get away with anything secret with me. That 6'1" blonde with that big chest, she just,
Who are you talking about? Me?
Yeah, no.
You can't be,
Yeah.
It's like my voice. I can't call somebody on the phone and try to pretend I'm somebody different.
Right.
Right away they go, hey, it's LG. I
Right.
go, how do you know it's me?
Right. You got the radio voice, that's for sure.
It's like, hey, you can't change that voice if
Right,
you try.
yeah. And I can't really blend in even if but there's so many times I go out and I put on a baseball hat and jeans, and I own a lot of hats, I'm just
Then
pretty
they just
casual.
say, hey, she's 6 foot tall with a hat on now.
Yeah, it doesn't really change too much,
Yeah, it's difficult to hide.
Yeah, or I'll get.
There's no reason for you to try to hide.
No, and I don't. You got to work with it. So I definitely don't try to hide. That's for sure. But it's funny because sometimes I'll be at the grocery store and I'll come home and I'll be on Facebook or whatever, and I'll have somebody be like, "Hey, I saw you at Giant Eagle." That happens a lot.
So
too.
why don't they come up and say hello?
I don't know.
If you see Elizabeth Suzanne, she's approachable. She's a very, very, very nice person.
Thanks.
It's just, people don't understand. It's more than skin deep here. It's
much more.
Her heart and soul is into everybody. So come on out and say hello.
Yeah,
if you
say
see
hello.
her. You were at a concert last night, right?
I was at a concert last night.
Tell us a little bit about that. People were coming up and saying hi, right?
Yeah, I went to a concert last night. I was at Lake Erie Speedway and went and saw Chris Cagle, and we were at a concert, and people started coming up to me and said, "Hey, can I get a picture with you?" And so I said, okay, so then all of a sudden this line was forming, and I looked at the girl and I'm like, who do you think I am? I don't, you know what I mean? These pictures of this magazine haven't come out yet. I'm like, I don't know who you think I am. And she's like, well, what Playboy issue were you in? I mean, it's flattering.
You started selling the pictures,
right? I guess I should have.
A couple bucks a piece,
right? Well, no,
for a couple of drinks.
And I said too. Well, I'm 30. I'm a mom, so it's kind of like, I guess when those things happen to you, it's it's always flattering. It's very nice, for sure.
Very flattering. I'm begging people to ask me for my ID if I go in and buy a beer or something.
Yeah,
nobody ever asks me.
Yeah, I get carded sometimes, but
I don't get
often.
carded at all anymore. I'm depressed. I'm a dope, Leaf says. I'm going to give you a dope. You believe how mean he is?
You guys are nice boys.
Should we kick his ass after the show?
No. I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter.
Ooh, I'll do my scared face, LG.
He's a little bit odd, but we love him. We love him just the same, Jeff Leaf. So, the All-Star break, obviously you're going to pull for the American League or what?
Absolutely.
You think we have a shot?
I think we have a shot.
Kipnis is there for the Indians. Justin Masterson. Hopefully they'll both do well.
Absolutely.
Come back to Cleveland and get us that championship.
Yeah, that I predicted.
About.
Right. Sorry, I kind of took you away from talking about sports today. I apologize if your listeners wanted to hear all about sports.
No. This is about you because you are the winner of the June Cleveland Sports 360 Girl of the Month contest. We do dedicate the show. You're the co-host, so we like to talk about the co-host. And we could talk about sports on all the other shows. I mean, there's 51 other shows. We don't always have to just strictly. And we did talk about sports. We talked about youth football and the importance of getting the helmet right to stop these concussion injuries.
Right. That's very important.
I had some big guys on my show that you probably heard their names. Anthony Dorsett Jr., Levon Kirtland, Ty Law. These were all NFL football players. And, obviously, Tony Dorsett Jr., senior, Tony Dorsett Sr. is one of the greatest running backs of all time for the Dallas Cowboys. He was actually involved in the concussion case that the NFL is fighting, and he was one of the guys that filed part of the lawsuit. So by the time you reach that level of football, and you've had that kind of head trauma for all these years, you're kind of never going to reverse that.
No, that's very true. And that does weigh on me with my son for sure.
Well, that's why I was interested to hear, at 8 years old, what kind of safety measures. I know, like I said, Urban Meyer and Robert Goodell are doing this clinic coming up at Ohio State to show the youth football. And it was interesting to talk to you about that. So that is sports. Yeah, it's not like we didn't talk sports.
And we talked about all kinds of stuff.
Coach Cavecchio over there, he played youth football, and look what happened to him. No, I mean, head injuries,
That's serious business.
A lot of times people went out and they got head injuries and didn't realize they even had one, and the coach put them right back in the game.
Right.
I've had some former Cleveland Browns on the show before, and those guys would tell you, when you go on the sideline, the coach would give you smelling salts and send you back in for the next play.
Yeah.
So it's important to make sure proper safety measurements are taking place, and I'm glad that you said that it is happening on the youth level.
It is,
because if it starts there, and these kids can work their way up through the ranks, junior high school, high school. If it
wasn't safe, or that the coaches didn't take it serious, my son wouldn't be playing. That's fact. He comes first, and his health and safety is obviously paramount to me. So they do definitely take it seriously. That's for sure.
It's an important factor, and I just wondered how much more, because of all the limelight that's being brought to the head injuries, how much more safety was being enforced. And it's good to hear that you say it is being enforced.
Absolutely.
So that's important. I think it's going to shape some of these conservative nutcases that you see, like with this guy Zimmerman, he gets.
That's the story.
Now there's people downtown today protesting, holding bags of Skittles up. and thinking, you know, I mean, that's taking things a little bit too far. The guy stood trial. He was found. The jurors are being threatened right now into Zimmerman.
People definitely get real involved in that kind of stuff too, and even when it has nothing to do with them.
So you know what's going to happen is one of these days you're gonna scare people so much that nobody wants to get involved anymore.
Right.
Like if you can't get a juror to do a trial, what are you going to do, man?
Yeah, right.
So these 6 jurors found the guy innocent, and now their lives are being threatened.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter one way or the other. Somebody's not going to like something.
Well, absolutely. And you get
be more like Elizabeth Suzanne. She gets along with everybody.
I
right?
do. I get along with probably
one
just
piece
about
of
everyone.
advice. What would you tell everybody?
Well, I think I said this at the beginning. I think, you know, again, when like women judge other women or are hurtful to other women, I do my best not to do that. So, because I know how hurtful that can be. It's hard enough to be a woman. So, you probably don't have a lot of women listeners. I might be surprised. I might be, you know, putting my
Well, we
foot
put
in my
these shows
mouth
on YouTube later on, too.
Yeah. So I think, you know, treat others how you want to be treated. I
Right.
think that's probably a pretty solid piece of advice I could give.
Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to end another edition of the Cleveland Sports 360 show right here with our beautiful guest, Elizabeth Suzanne.
Thank you for
so
having
much
me.
for
Thank
joining
you.
me. Are
And
you
thank you,
kidding?
everybody,
You
for
brightened
voting.
up my
I
whole
appreciate
day.
it. Well, thanks.
You really did.
Thank
It was
you.
it's like having a rose in the studio all of a
Thank
sudden.
you.
We always have these jocks in here, and
Right.
not to say that she wasn't an athlete, but we wish you continued
Thank you.
success.
I appreciate
we know
it.
you're doing a great thing
Thank
raising
you.
this son, and I know
Yep.
he's going to be a perfect little gentleman
Thank
one
you.
day.
He is. Thanks.
Only because of your special morals.
Thank you.
Hey, join us next week. We're not going to be here. We're taking the day off because I'm going to be down in the south looking for Cote Cavecchia on the golf course somewhere over the weekend. So we're going to miss this episode of the Cleveland Sports 360 show. So catch us on the 29th. We'll talk to you later. Don't forget tomorrow night the You Gotta Be Freaking Kidding Me show with Jeff Leaf live at 6 p.m. He is a nutcase. You will laugh your ass off. You will never think something is this funny if he shows up and he's in a funny kind of mood, which is always. So we'll see you tomorrow night right back here on StreamingSportsTalk.com. God bless you. Be good. We'll see you next time.